Hey guys, Adu from Denmark here. So it's been a while since I posted my last video, but it's mainly because there haven't really been much to talk about magic-wise. But today there is, since Wizard of the Coast have been posting some new spoilers for the upcoming Magic Origins, which is the last core set we're going to have. There are about 30 cards that have been spoiled, which I'm not going to talk about here, but you can check them in the link down below. What I want to talk about today is changes to mechanics being deleted from Magic and new mechanics being turned into evergreen mechanics, which means that they will appear mostly in the newer decks, just like Flying and First Strike and so on. Anyway, let's check it out. Firstly, let's talk about the cards, the mechanics that are going to be deleted from Magic. And also, I just want to say that these cards I'm going to show you are not new cards from Origins, but are just normal cards from older sets. Anyway, the first mechanic that's going to be deleted from Magic is Intimidate, where Intimidate is all about this creature can be blocked except by artifact creatures and/or creature that shares a color with it. In the article I'm also have been linking down below, you can read about all these mechanics and why they're going away and why new ones are being added. But for Intimidate, Wizards of the Coast have been talking about that this mechanic against some decks, the ability is just very strong, while against other decks the ability is useless. And I kind of share that feeling. I think I do feel that Intimidates feel kind of awkward, and if you're playing against decks where this is going really good, it's really good of course, and it's really bad of course if it doesn't. But I also think that that mechanics that have this kind of evasion can be kind of frustrating to play against, because what are you going to do? Are you going to how are you going to try to defeat this creature with Intimidate? So for me, Intimidate going away, I don't have a problem with it. Another mechanic that's being deleted is the land walk ability. For instance, the island walk ability, where this creature can be blocked as long as the defending player controls an island. For this, the Wizard of the Coast have been talking about that what are you going to do against the landmark creatures if you're playing the appropriate land? Not play your basic land. Magic games are best when there's some interaction and landmark was not clearing the bar. Again, I actually agree with this. I think, for instance, you could destroy your own land, so you could actually block it, or maybe you should stop playing your islands or whatever. But again, with the whole evasion thing, I think. Again, just like Intimidate, I feel it's very awkward mechanic. But you can also talk about that it's annoying that the evasion mechanics are going away like this. But I actually think it's a nice idea that Magic have, that the interactions with the two players or more, for that matter, have to be fun on each other and not frustrating. And I do think that this whole land walk mechanic can be a bit frustrating. The last mechanic is protection, where you choose the color that you are protected from this turn, which Wizards of the Coast have also been talking about that they don't know what to do about, which is also why they're not going to delete it at the moment. But as they have been talking about something moving forward, protection is moving from what we call evergreen to deciduous. Which means that they will occasionally use it, but not just every time, just like hybrid mana and so on. I don't know what I think about this. I actually like being protected from a color, and I like the feel to it that you can save up your mana to protect yourself. But I do like that it's not going completely away. They've also talked about that regeneration is a bit of a problem for them. But just like this mechanic, they don't know what to do about it, so they're trying to find a nice way for it to work. On to mechanics that are being turned into evergreen mechanics, which means that they will appear in most of the new upcoming sets, just like Flying and First Strike and so on. And these cards I'm going to show now are new cards from Magic Origins. Ooh. Because of Intimidate, because of Wizard of the Coast didn't want to have Intimidate anymore, they wanted to find a new mechanic for that slot where something can be blocked. And they have been tossed around with a mechanic for that. We actually have a lot of cards with it where this new mechanic is called Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. This makes sense because Intimidate was all about death, but you had to have a certain type of condition in order for it to work, otherwise it wouldn't really work. But this Menace mechanic does make sense since they have already been using it a lot, but now it's turned into an evergreen mechanic, which is fine, I think. This card is a red Goblin Warrior creature that costs you 3 mana, and it's a 3/2 and got this Menace mechanic. If you take a look at the card, it's not really good, but hey, it's a common. But I don't mind the Menace mechanic being turned to evergreen. They also talked about that this mechanic is going to be primary in black and secondary in red. The next mechanic is that's been turned into an evergreen mechanic is Scry, where Wizard of the Coast have been talking about that it creates an excellent job of card flow and enabling sets to do whatever thing they're trying to do, and also that every sets need a card flow mechanic, just as I said. I actually agree with that, although I do think that Scry is a bit boring, unless you of course put it into to the right deck with the right mechanics and so on. But I guess it's good with a mechanic that gives you card flows and so on. We have a new card from Magic Origins where this card is a sorcery that costs you 4 mana to cast, and it deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and then you get to Scry 1. I'm not sure yet if Scry 1 is the default here, but I do think that it is. Horrible card, if you ask me. 3 damage for 4 mana and you get to Scry 1 isn't really that good, but again, it's a common and just to show off what it's all about. In Dragons of Tarkir, we had a mechanic called Prowess, which was all about that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is now being turned into an evergreen mechanic because Blue needed a combat-related mechanic, and Prowess seems to be the fit for it. At least that's what Wizard of the Coast think. I think that it's a bit boring mechanic and it doesn't really seem to have much design space, and it's going to quickly be boring because every card is going to be the same. I'm not sure about that, of course, but I don't really think it had that much design space. But I do agree that Blue was in need of a combat trick mechanic, and Prowess seems to fit that very well with the whole non-creature thing. So I guess that makes sense. This card is also from Magic Origins and is a 1/3 human rogue creature that costs you 3 mana to cast, and had the Prowess mechanic, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So it's pretty standard. That was the information I wanted to share with you today. Remember that you can check all these links down below with the new 30 cards being spoiled from Origins and this article I talk about today. You're more than welcome to leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think of these new mechanics that are being added as keyword abilities and the mechanics that are going away from Magic. June 2022 is the start of the spoilers for Magic Origins, so you're more than welcome to subscribe to me if you want to stay up to date with this. Until next time, have fun, guys.